Hey, Raiders Nation, what's good? It's time to dive into some electrifying Las Vegas Raiders news that's got me fired up. I know you're going to feel the same. Today, we're breaking down how our most talented players, led by the one and only Max Crosby, stack up against the NFL's elite. Buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride. We've got new faces, big expectations, and a defense ready to dominate in 2025. Ready to see where our boys in silver and black stand? Let's get into it. How do you think our Raiders compare to the rest of the league? So what's the buzz? The Las Vegas Raiders have been making moves this offseason, adding fresh talent to an already exciting roster. But the heartbeat of this team? That's Max Crosby, no question. According to Brandon Austin from Pro Football Network, Crosby was ranked as the 31st best player in the entire NFL. Pretty darn impressive, right? Even after injuries cut his 2024 season to just 12 games, he still racked up 45 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, and 7.5 sacks. That's the kind of relentless energy we love in Raider Nation. But here's the question. Is 31st too low for our star edge rusher, or does it feel about right? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now let's set the stage. The Raiders' defense has some question marks heading into 2025. New schemes, new players, and a ton of pressure to perform. But Crosby? He's the constant. This guy's a former fourth-round pick who's defied every odd, piling up 59.5 sacks in his first 6 seasons. That's elite-level production. His new 3-year, $106.5 million extension shows the Raiders believe he's the cornerstone of this defense. But with a stacked AFC West, think Patrick Mahomes and those pesky Chiefs. Can Crosby and our revamped D rise to the challenge? I'm hyped, but I want to hear from you. What's the biggest hurdle our defense faces this year? Here's the hook. This season isn't just about Crosby holding it down. It's about how the entire Raiders roster steps up against the NFL's best. From new additions to returning stars, we're building something special in Las Vegas. So, stick with me as we dive deep into Crosby's impact, the team's offseason changes, and how our Raiders stack up against the competition. Are we playoff bound, or is it Super Bowl or bust? Let's break it all down and see why Raider Nation is ready to make some noise in 2025. The Raiders' defense has been a roller coaster, hasn't it? We've seen flashes of brilliance, but consistency is the name of the game in 2025. Max Crosby is the guy who sets the tone, playing with a motor that just doesn't quit. Last season, despite those nagging injuries, he still managed 17 tackles for loss. Talk about heart. His advanced metrics, though? A bit of a mixed bag. 27 defensive stops, 30th among edge rushers, and a 12.5% pressure rate, 46th. But here's the kicker. He ranked 9th in pass rush win rate at 20%. That's the kind of stat that makes quarterbacks lose sleep. So, Raiders fans, what's your take? Can Crosby climb back into the top 20 this season? Let's talk about what makes Crosby so special. It's not just the stats, it's the intangibles. This dude's a leader, a competitor, and the embodiment of Raider Nation's grit. He's out there every snap, giving 110%, whether it's chasing down a running back or collapsing the pocket on a QB. His teammates feed off that energy, and with new defensive pieces like hypothetical addition, rookie linebacker Jalen Harris, the potential is sky high. But here's the thing. The NFL is loaded with talent. Guys like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt are setting the bar. Can Crosby outshine them in 2025? I'm curious, what other defensive stars do you think he needs to surpass to hit that elite tier? The offseason brought some serious changes to our defense, and I'm pumped to see how it all comes together. New coaches, new schemes, and a focus on competition. That's what Crosby's been raving about. He said it himself. Every day in the facility is a battle, from the weight room to the meeting rooms. That's the kind of culture that breeds winners. With Pete Carroll's influence. Yep, the legendary coach is pushing our guys to be their best selves. The Raiders are building a defense that's not just talented, but relentless. So, what's the vibe in Raider Nation? Are you feeling the hype around our defensive overhaul? Now let's zoom out. The Raiders aren't just competing in the AFC West. They're up against the entire NFL. Teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Chiefs have stacked rosters, but our boys in silver and black have something to prove. Crosby's leadership is the X factor, but he can't do it alone. Will our new additions step up? Can our secondary hold its own against elite receivers? These are the questions that'll define our season. Stick around, because we're about to dive into how our offense complements this defense and why the Raiders might just shock the league in 2025. All right, let's shift gears to the bigger picture. How do the Raiders stack up against the NFL's heavy hitters? Crosby's the anchor, but the rest of the roster is where the magic happens. Take our offensive line, for example. Guys like Colton Miller are holding it down, giving our QB time to make plays. And speaking of QBs, whether it's hypothetical QB Jake Thompson or a veteran stepping up, we need consistency to match our defensive fire. Last season, the Raiders ranked 18th in points scored. Not terrible, but not elite. So, what's your prediction? Can our offense crack the top 10 in 2025? Then there's the AFC West gauntlet. The Chiefs are always a problem, with Mahomes throwing darts and Andy Reid scheming circles around everyone. The Chargers have Justin Herbert, and the Broncos are sneaky with Sean Payton calling the shots. But here's why I'm optimistic. Our offseason moves. From signing, hypothetical addition, veteran cornerback Marcus Tate, to drafting speedster, wideout Jalen Brooks, the Raiders are deeper than ever. Depth matters when you're battling for a playoff spot. So, Raiders Nation, who's the one player you think could be a game changer for us this year? Let's not forget the intangibles. The Raiders' culture is shifting. Max Crosby said it best. It's all about competition. Pete Carroll and the coaching staff are fostering an environment where every rep counts. And that's huge for a team looking to turn potential into wins. Compare that to, say, the Steelers, who thrive on discipline, or the Ravens, with their physicality. The Raiders are carving out their own identity, grit, heart, and a little bit of that Vegas swagger. What's the one thing you love most about this team's vibe right now? Here's the deal. To compete with the NFL's best, we need balance. Crosby and the defense can disrupt, but the offense has to keep up. Teams like the 49ers have a juggernaut on both sides of the ball, and that's the standard. Can our new-look Raiders match that intensity? I think we got a shot, but it's going to take every player stepping up. Let's keep this combo going. What's the one matchup you're most excited to see this season? Chiefs? Chargers? Or maybe a playoff rematch? Drop it in the comments. Time to wrap this up, but the hype is just getting started. The Las Vegas Raiders are poised for a breakout in 2025, with Max Crosby leading the charge and a roster full of hungry talent. Whether it's shutting down elite QBs or making big plays on offense, this team has the pieces to compete with anyone. But it's not just about the players. It's about us, Raider Nation, bringing that energy every game day. So, what's your bold prediction for the Raiders this season? Playoffs, division title, or something even bigger? Let's talk about Crosby one more time. This guy's not just a player. He's a culture setter. His 59.5 sacks in 6 seasons put him among the NFL's best. And at 28 years old, he's just hitting his prime. But the competition is fierce. Myles Garrett had 14 sacks last year, and TJ Watt's always a menace. Can Crosby climb into that top-tier conversation? I'm betting on him, but I want to hear from you. Where do you rank Crosby among the NFL's edge rushers? The road ahead is tough, but that's what makes being a Raiders fan so special. We've got new talent, a fired-up coaching staff, and a fan base that bleeds silver and black. Whether we're taking on the Chiefs or battling for a wild-card spot, this season's going to be a wild ride. So, let's show the NFL what Raider Nation's all about. Who's your breakout star for 2025? Someone other than Crosby? Share your pick below. All right, Raiders Nation, it's time to make some noise. If you're as pumped as I am about the Las Vegas Raiders, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest Las Vegas Raiders news. Share this video with your fellow fans, and let's get ready to dominate in 2025. Raider Nation, baby, let's ride. What's your biggest hope for this season? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.